Former President Donald Trump reportedly got booed by his legion of fans after recommending that they get vaccinated against COVID-19. You know, the thing that is killing unvaccinated, mainly Republicans, or just mainly unvaccinated people, which happen to be Republicans for the most part. So, nonetheless, the mere mention of getting a vaccine elicits this response. Take a look.
I recommend take the vaccines. I did it. It's good. Take the vaccines. But no, that's okay. That's all right. You got your freedoms. But I happen to take the vaccine. If it doesn't work, you'll be the first to know, okay? I'll call up Alabama and say, hey, you know what? But it is working. But you do have your freedoms. You have to maintain that. You have to maintain that. And you got to get your kids back to school.
So look at the turnaround on that immediately. I mean, you got your freedoms, such great freedoms, many freedoms. You get the best freedoms. But take the vaccine. I did it, but freedoms. All right, sure. But even that, focus on like, oh, well, you got the freedoms. I mean, you can if you want, whatever. That was more than enough to get the MAGA chuds against you. On a thing that actually could potentially save your life. It's almost like, and it's funny again about the backpedal here. It's that realization that clicks in his tiny little brain. Well, it isn't the consequences of my own actions. Again, look at Donald Trump dealing with the monster that he helped create. Again, okay, he didn't actually create the monster. But what he did famously is co-opt it to its own ends, right? And big surprise, on this issue, the monster turned on him. If only anybody could have seen this one coming. I mean, with the entire time that he was downplaying the virus itself, the fake virus, fake news, not real, kind of like a flu, a little bit of a cold, it's not that bad. And then, the vaccine, right? But then it's like, the greatest vaccine ever for the thing that doesn't really exist or is not really that big of a problem. So, but hey, take it. If there's something wrong, I'll be the first to know. You'll be the first to know. Okay. But here's the thing. So Trump, as I mentioned, co-opted the movement. And that movement, pre-Trump, is something that I was quite familiar with for some time. It was filled with, of course, the same kind of anti-science, pro-conspiracy nutbags. Anti-government, anti-academia. These are like reactionaries, essentially. These are the people that look at smart, accomplished people who went to school, got educated, and think, bullshit, I know more than you. Bullshit, I know more than all of you. Yeah, I listened to Mr. Patriot 1776 America Freedom Eagle on YouTube, and he called bullshit on you. Yeah, he says you're fake news. Patriot Freedom Eagle, he did the real work. He's doing real journalism. Really? Was the guy in the lab? What was his credentials? Did he graduate high school? Did he move out of his parents' basement? I mean, what's the credentials here? What level are we dealing with? No, but this is understand what we contend with all the time. And of course, look, I know I did a little bit of a blanket statement there. Obviously, I know that there are some actual like nurses and things like that that turned out to be, cranks, quacks. And there are people, of course, that are, doctors that are wanting to make a quick buck off ignorant people by selling like these, so-called alternative medicines, right? Or, of course, some are just nuts. Does anybody remember Demon Semen Lady? You understand? You got the demon sperm. It's totally a thing. Demon sperm. Yep. Sperm from the demon. It's gotten so bad that there are people that have been convinced, and there are calls from poison control where there are people who have been convinced to take horse or livestock anti-parasitic medication. I'm not kidding you. a lot of poison control calls for people who are not horses, obviously, because they're people, not horses, or not sheep, or whatever, taking these medications thinking, I'm going to take that and not the vaccine. What are you thinking? What are you doing? There's a free vaccine. It is available right now. And God forbid, the government actually gives out a medication that's free, like unprecedented, right? And they're actually doing the right thing. But no, let's take fish tank cleaner, or the bleach, or whatever else. No, let's take that instead of the vaccine that has been specifically created to protect you against this virus. Because, the stupid is unfathomable here. It is an abyss of dumb. And there are so many, and by the way, if you go and look into the conspiracy theories behind all of this stuff, obviously there's a lot of rabbit holes you're going to end up having to dive into. That'll take you to some pretty shady places. And somehow you're not going to be surprised where it all ends up with the Jews. They always go back to blaming the Jewish people. It's amazing. It always railroads into massive anti-Semitism on the right. Oh, did you know the vaccines are really a way to deliver the microchips into the people so that the big government, the one world government, can actually track you? Yeah. Oh, sure. Okay. Sent from iPhone. It's so dumb. And these people understand that they are so deeply gullible to fall for these obvious conspiracies, these cranks, and are so resistant to actual information, no matter who is telling them. And that's what's important, okay? Family, you got friends, Donald Trump. Donald Trump literally just told him, well, you've got freedom, but please take the vaccine, or just take the vaccine. It's good. It's great. And they're like, no, boo, boo facts, boo information, boo reality. I'm not at all interested. Now I'm going to go get some horse dewormer. Come on. But it doesn't matter. Again, one of the stories that I did not get to cover on the show, I think it was last week, the week before, that there was a story of a Parkland parent that got sucked into QAnon. Okay, QAnon, right? And this guy is so deep that he started saying and believing that his son was in on the hoax. The son lived through that, saw what happened, lost friends. And his dad's like, bullshit. You're in on it. What is wrong with you? He even told the kid, quote, you're a real piece of work to be able to sit here and act like nothing ever happened if it wasn't a hoax. Shame on you for being part of it and putting your family through it too. What are you doing? What are you doing? This is conspiracy stuff. All right, this is a whole thing that undergirds a lot of these conservative beliefs. All right, and a lot of these conservatives, this is the argument that they make. And this is what they believe in. This is what they do. QAnon and the conspiracies around vaccines, they're all really a result of the same kind of pathology. And that pathology is killing people. It's killing people. Alabama, where this rally was being held, only has a vaccination rate of 36%. Well, of course, the lowest in the country, falling behind the national total by nearly 16%. Alabama, why can't you be normal? Why can't you just be normal and not put the rest of the country in danger by not getting vaccinated? It doesn't make any sense. The state itself reported about 28,000 new cases in the past week, and that among the hospitalized were kids, 50 children. 50 children. So again, kids are much less likely to get seriously ill and require hospitalization. Even so, now with the Delta variant, you have it spreading around, and you have kids that are about ready to get back to school, and you have Republican governors that are pushing back against mask mandates in these schools because kids under 12 can so far, unfortunately, not get vaccinated yet. And so you have this situation where, kids are starting to get sick and being hospitalized, and you have hospitals jam-packed with COVID-19 patients. It's a disaster. And you have the MAGA chuds out there, the hogs out there that are screaming, the boo vaccine, boo. It's a complete and utter disaster. And all of this, it could have been avoided by actually doing the right thing. Had Donald Trump taken this seriously back when he was president and not pushed the conspiracy theories, and had Republican congressmen not followed along like little bitches, little puppies, that are like, oh yes, oh no, Mr. Trump, yes, oh of course, let me lick your boots, and do whatever you want. Had they not done that, we might have actually gotten control of it. There had been an actual coherent federal response to COVID-19 under Trump. It might not be this bad. Complete and utter disaster. And it's not going away. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.